How's it going, guys? We haven't had any huge REO news over the past few days, but something really interesting just happened. REO CEO Zach showed up in REO's subreddit and started answering a few questions. And there was actually a few answers in there that I think that might give us a better idea of what happens next with REO. We're talking about a design reveal, we're talking about an actual physical truck, and now we have an idea how many trucks REO wants to build in the first year. And Zach gave us an answer on what to design that really caught my idea. So let's go through it. So, first of all, a bit of context. Zach made a post on the REO subreddit, basically introducing himself as the CEO. He said REO would like to see the Reddit community grow naturally, and then he stuck around and started answering some questions. Now, full disclosure here, I'm actually one of the moderators on the REO subreddit, so obviously I was pretty happy to see him show up. But from what I found was more interesting were some of the answers, because we got a few new pieces of information. Someone asked Zach, when are we going to see the designs, and what major steps are we going to see after that? And Zach confirmed that the designs are coming out in November. We already knew that part, but he said something that we haven't heard before. He said that the designs are coming out in November, followed by a physical reveal at the Detroit Auto Show in January for concept rollers. That's a pretty big deal, because apparently we're not just going to be looking at computer renderings for very long. If everything goes to plan, only a couple of months after November, REO plans to reveal a concept roller at the Detroit Auto Show in January. Now, pay attention to the wording there. Concept rollers. We're not talking about a finished product here. We're talking about an actual size comparison. The proportions, the interior, the bed, the design, just about everything that what we're going to see in the real world. So basically we have a November 2026 reveal, design reveal, and then in January 2027 we'll have a physical concept reveal. And to me, January actually might be a bigger event, because renderings are one thing, but seeing an actual full-size truck is a completely different thing. And then another question that we got was, what do they hope the exterior would look like? Would it be aggressively unique? Specifically, would it look like the Ineos Grenadier, for example? And Zach responded, yes, that's definitely the direction that we're going. Okay, that's interesting. Now, before anyone runs away with it, Zach did not say the Runabout is going to look like the Grenadier. That's not what I'm claiming. The comment was talking about having a distinctive exterior design and that is used by the Grenadier as an example. Zach said that that's the direction that they're going. But that does make me feel a little bit better about the prediction that I made, because I really don't think REO is going to build something that looks like every other small truck. Everything I've heard so far points to something more utilitarian, something boxy, something recognizable, something where the fact that it's designed to be useful actually makes it part of the styling. And that's apparently what we'll know in November. So when we put everything together, I think we're starting to get a much clearer picture of what the next phase of REO looks like. Right now, finish the designs, continue building demand, continue working towards the investment. Then in November, show us the truck. Then in January, show us an actual concept. And then eventually, try to turn all of this into an actual product. That's the part where I think it's going to get hard. Like I said before, and I'll say it again, I really like what REO's doing. But ultimately, they have to execute. They have to raise money, they have to engineer the truck, and they have to source the components. And they have to manufacture it. And if they do all of that and they potentially make 10 to 20,000 trucks per year, that's a massive challenge. And at least now we're talking about the steps between an idea and an actual truck. Personally, I think January is now the date that I'm most interested in. November is going to answer what is the REO going to look like, but January is going to answer something more important. Does this thing actually look and feel like a real truck when it's sitting in front of you? And if REO rolls onto the showroom floor and looks anything like what we've been imagining, And I think this is where things get pretty interesting. But what do you guys think? Are you more excited about the November design reveal, or are you more excited about the physical reveal in January? What do you think about the 10 to 20,000 truck per year target? And after Zach's comments about the Grenadier, do you think we're going to figure out exactly what this thing is going to look like? So let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.